In today's fast-paced technological world, it's difficult to remember a time without the internet. We didn't communicate with instant messaging or take pictures of every meal we ate. The internet has molded a generation of youth into something much different than seen in the past. This incredible advance in computer science has been a deciding factor in the growth of not only my behavior, but that of society in general. Growing up in the late 1990s to early 2000s, I was privileged in having access to the internet. My family had two computers, my father's IBM laptop that was strictly for his work, and the family's shared desktop. Plugged into this PC was, at the time, a blazing fast DSL connection. This service was a step up from the dial-up internet that was still in use at the time. Some of my pioneering experiences on the internet were those on early social networking, such as MySpace. My cousin introduced me to AOL, which allowed two people the ability to chat over the internet. This revolutionized how I thought about communicating with other people. Instead of going through the hassle of calling a friend's home phone to make contact, I was able to deliver a message over the World Wide Web. Then around 2006, both the companies Google and YouTube sprang up in the digital community. Google emerged as a go-to source of information. Instead of going through the arduous process of looking up a word in the dictionary or a historic event in the encyclopedia, Google provided a list of websites that could assist in finding an answer. With the introduction of Wikipedia, this process came all easier. But here lies the question. Did this broad and simple access to information help or hinder the foundation and evolution of my knowledge? It absolutely was beneficial in the formation of not just basic vernacular, but knowledge in general. However, where it was beneficial to me, it was toxic for society of the modern day. We live in a time of instant gratification, and the ability to find answers at the ease of a whim only further drove this factor of contemporary humanity. While this open access to information was pertinent in my development, it remains a driving stake into our society's collective patience. YouTube was revolutionary for its time, becoming the central hub of online video entertainment. This website came to its genesis through multiple viral videos, Sneezing Panda and Afro Ninja, just to name a few. YouTube during this time became the center of my online obsession, taking my full attention for hours at a time. Discovering new people to subscribe to aided in consuming my youth. The advertisements during this era of YouTube were located on the sides of the video rather than taking 15 seconds at the start of a video. Through viewing original content created by private uploaders with minimal advertisements, YouTube was a healthier form of time wasting than television produced by mass media corporations doing it just for the money. So, why were the uploaders putting videos on YouTube? Was it simply because they longed to entertain people? The idea of being able to upload a video, a product of work and devotion, onto a website where people could not only view it, but also comment on what they thought of the video itself gave these early YouTubers motivation to continue their work on videos. This bond between YouTuber and viewer created a community found nowhere else on the internet, where anyone can put a video on the world stage, open for criticism, and obtain feedback. The internet was the only way that something of this nature was able to exist and thrive for years to come. Flash forward one year to 2007, the time in which I stumbled upon the world of online gaming. Up to this point in time, I was already an avid gamer, having played hundreds of games on multiple consoles. The only downfall of these gaming platforms was one limitation. Most games on console would only allow multiplayer at the 4-player capacity. This disadvantage limited video games as a social event, and remained a problem for years. However, advances in internet technology allowed for more social interaction, with video games being the proxy. Starting with the Sega Dreamcast, online multiplayer was readily available. While most kids at the time had their first experience with online gameplay through a console, my origin to internet gaming was on the computer. I was a geek for massively multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs for short. These games had tens of thousands of people coexisting in the same faux environment. This allowed for interaction on an individual level, and for friendships to blossom. One thing I learned in these grandiose games was skepticism. In an MMORPG, you could not just trust someone in games unless you interacted with them for an extended period of time, or if you knew them in real life. This rule carried over with me into everyday life. It led me to being skeptical of others' claims, and to only trust those whom I have built relationships with. There were two kinds of people who played these games. Those who acted the same way as they did in the real world, and those who used the game as a sort of mask, and acted completely different than they did in real life. The people who put on this disguise were hurt by online gaming community, as they never advanced their true personality when socializing with other people through the game. Suddenly, something like out of the blue, the biggest website to hit the internet, Facebook, came to fruition. Facebook as a steamroller flattened existing social networking sites out of reality, becoming the conglomerate of all people's social networking needs. Facebook allowed me to reconnect with friends from elementary school that I've not seen in 4 years. It also allowed me to reinforce already strong friendships. Facebook rekindled my adoration towards little internet games with Farmville and Cityville. I spent hours a day on these games, and it ruined my first semester of high school. This was never a problem on MMORPGs that I played in the past, as they left me drained after playing them. I soon forsake these games, and focused on my schoolwork. Doing this opened a new venue for my online experience, the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 was the main source of my online desires from freshman to junior year, keeping me connected with friends and helping me meet new ones. It also, however, was a toxic environment that, looking back, was a horrible experience. Xbox Live, the online service that connected people on Xbox together, was full of spammers, jerks, and kids way too young for the language they were spewing.
You're going to fucking heck, and I don't give a shit whatever your fucking butt buddy says, but fuck him too and fuck you!
There was not a Call of Duty game that I played online in which profanities and racial slurs were not thrown out at incredible fluidity. I eventually grew numb to this horde community and played games without even recognizing those trying to ruin the community. This tolerance to profanity is seen amongst most people who have grown up in the online video game community, as it transformed into being part of the games, rather than its own entity. Soon after the start of junior year of high school, my computer lured me back in, with the website 4chan becoming the source of my internet excitement. 4chan can be the most interesting place on the internet, with discussion topics ranging from international politics to time travel. At other times, 4chan can be home to abhorrent images of gore, sexism, racism, and controversial views on social issues. Because it is such an adverse website, 4chan has remained my source of boredom cure for the past 2 years. I've expanded the arguments on some of my social views and threads that I never thought I had in me. Being a website completely based off people starting threads on subjects of their choosing, 4chan is not just an image board. It allows itself to be morphed into a site used for debate. This debate can be held against any other person on the globe, and allows for opinions to be accepted and denied based on others' facts. This strange mix of civility and barbarianism found on this site makes it one of the highest trafficked sites on the internet, and for the pure reason that it allows for an environment in which everybody's opinion has a chance to be heard by everyone, broadening the scope of all visitors' understandings of the human condition. The internet has changed the lives of billions of people, whether it be from a satellite or a van. Websites found through Google allow for expansion of the mind. Online gaming allows for socialization never seen before, allowing two people from separate sides of the earth to interact on a personal basis. This World Wide Web will be around for a long time, and will sculpt the behavior of many more generations to come. However, it is up to the surfers themselves on how they use this incredulous tool to either benefit or be left in ruins. Will there come a time when the internet, rather than aiding humanity, be used to end it? How will this vast array of electronic devices shape the future of humankind?